India's economy surges, but Trump's tariff cast a shadow. India's defies slowdown fears with 7.8% GDP growth in April-June, yet US tariff hikes on exports threaten to dent momentum in coming quarters. India's economy delivered a surprise acceleration in the April-June quarter, with gross domestic product expanding 7.8%, the fastest pace in 5 quarters, outstripping market forecast of 6.7%. Gross value added also grew by 7.6%, reflecting strong underlying activity in Asia's third largest economy, according to official data released Friday. The robust growth came despite an escalating trade dispute with Washington, where President Donald Trump has doubled tariffs on Indian imports to as high as 50% over New Delhi's continued purchases of Russian oil. Economists warn that the punitive measures could undercut India's export-led sectors, including textiles, chemicals, and leather goods, and potentially slow investment and consumption in the months ahead. Consumer demand provided a major boost to growth, with private spending, which accounts for 57% of GDP, rising 7% year-on-year, supported by rural demand, farm equipment purchases, and recent income tax cut. Government spending also rebounded, growing 7.4% compared to a contraction in the previous quarter, while capital expenditure rose 7.8%. Manufacturing and construction both posted solid gains, though agriculture slowed to 3.7%, yet risk loom large. Exporters estimate that nearly 55% of India's $87 billion in shipments to the US could be impacted by the tariff hike, threatening jobs, wages, and investment. Some analysts caution that prolonged US trade penalties could shave 0.6 to 0.8 percentage points of annual GDP growth, undermining India's position as an emerging manufacturing hub, rivaling China. India's chief economic advisor, V. Anantha Mugeswaran, acknowledged the risks but maintained that growth for the year remains on track within the 6.3 to 6.8 percentage range. There will be some negative shock on manufacturing numbers for July-September quarter, but it is difficult to make a precise estimate, he noted. The economic undercuts are already visible in markets. India's rupee slumped to a record low of 88.30 per dollar on Friday, while equity benchmark headed for the second straight month of declines as investors weighed tariff risks against the growth surprise. India's largest and latest GDP surge reinforces its position as the whole world's fastest growing major economy, but Trump's tariff shock threatens to test its resilience. The coming quarter will determine whether strong domestic consumption can offset mounting external headwinds.